The dust from the road clung to my boots, the same red dust I remembered from my childhood. 10 years. 10 years since I'd last walked this path. 10 years of war, of silence, of letters written but never sent. I'd told myself I was protecting them by staying away, by cutting ties. But now, standing at the edge of my village, I wasn't so sure. The old oak tree where my brother and I carved our initials was gone. In its place stood a cold gray post office. The bakery, where the scent of my mother's favorite cinnamon rolls used to drift out onto the street, was now a laundromat, its windows sterile and steamy. My heart started to pound a nervous rhythm against my ribs. This wasn't just changed, it was erased. I walked faster, my pack feeling heavier with every step. I turned onto my street, half expecting, half praying to see the familiar blue door of our little cottage, but it wasn't there. In its place was an empty lot overgrown with weeds, a single splintered fence post standing guard over nothing. My breath caught in my throat, they were gone. My mother, my father, my brother, all of them vanished. I stumbled over to what used to be our front porch, sinking down onto a patch of dry grass. Where did they go? Did they move? Did something happen? The silence of the empty lot was deafening, a stark contrast to the lively, chaotic home I held so vividly in my memory. I asked a few neighbors, older faces I barely recognized. They'd avert their eyes, murmuring about a bad winter years ago, a fever that took many. They said my family had just left, packed up in the middle of the night. No one knew where, it didn't make any sense. My father built that house with his own hands. He would never have just left it. For a week, I was a ghost in my own past, sleeping in an abandoned barn, searching for a clue, a trace, anything. I was about to give up, to accept that I had truly lost everything, when I remembered the old treasure box. It was a rusty tin box my brother and I had buried under a loose stone in the chimney's foundation. A place for our most secret possessions. With trembling, dirt-caked hands, I dug at the base of the crumbling chimney. My fingers brushed against cold metal. I pulled it out, the lid groaning in protest as I pried it open. Inside, amongst dried leaves and a few marbles, was a single folded piece of paper. It was a letter, in my mother's elegant script. My name was on the front. It was dated 8 years ago. She wrote about the fever that was sweeping through the village, how my father had already fallen ill. She wrote about how scared she was, but how proud she was of me. She said she knew I'd come home one day. And then, the line that shattered my world. "Don't look for us in this house, my son. We are going to the meadow of whispering pines where your grandmother rests. We will wait for you there." The meadow of whispering pines. The small cemetery on the hill overlooking the village. I didn't run, I walked. Every step was heavy, filled with a decade of unspoken words of regrets. I found their graves side by side. My brother. They hadn't left me, they'd just gone ahead. Standing there, as the wind whispered through the pines, I finally understood. I'd spent 10 years fighting for a piece of land, for a country. I thought I was coming back to a physical place, to a house with 4 walls and a roof. But I was wrong. The house was gone, the village was a stranger. But the love, the memories, the bond I shared with them, that was still here. It was in the rustle of the leaves, in the slant of the afternoon sun. In the letter I clutched in my hand. Home isn't a place you can pinpoint on a map. It's not wood and stone. It's the people who build a life inside you. The memories you carry in your heart. And in that quiet meadow surrounded by the whispers of the pines after 10 long years of silence, I was finally home.